Look, I admit it, I like the Olympics. Most of the time, I couldn't care less about gymnastics or swimming or track and field or figure skating or skiing or winter sports in general, really. But every 2 years, whether it's the Summer Games or the Winter Games, I am all in. I can't watch as much of it as I'd like to because I do actually have to, work or whatever you call this. But whenever I can, whenever I have time, I plant my ass in front of the TV and watch the world's greatest athletes do their thing and enjoy myself thoroughly. There are all kinds of reasons to not like the Olympics, balanced across from the entertainment factor, the thrill of competition, and the high-minded talk about athletics bringing people together and showcasing humanity at its best are the facts that Olympic Games tend to be money pits for the host countries, hotbeds of corruption and exploitation of local workers, and blights on the environment. Hey, what country wouldn't want to host this thing? Step right up for the chance to have your city hollowed out economically and accelerate climate change. So, if you're not excited about the Olympics, I get it. There are all kinds of good reasons not to be, including that you just don't like sports, by the way. The reason doesn't have to have anything to do with politics or social consciousness, but despite all those reasons, I do get excited for the Olympics, and I'm excited for this year's Summer Games from Tokyo, which were supposed to be last year's Summer Games from Tokyo before they were postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the potentially negative characteristics of the Olympics is nationalism. I say potentially because I don't think nationalism is necessarily a bad thing. It often is. Hell, I'll go along with the notion that it usually is, when politicians use it to stir up their base of support to unify people in this country by denigrating other countries, or to divide people in this country by denigrating other people in this country who supposedly aren't patriotic enough. It's a corrosive and harmful thing to be sure. But the Olympics usually does a pretty good job of channeling national pride into a more positive direction. Yes, there's competition. Yes, we're encouraged to root for our country's team, but we're also reminded of the importance of being a good sport. The current version of the Olympic oath mentions competing for the honor of the team, but it also emphasizes solidarity, equality, inclusion, and using sports to make the world a better place. We compete, we struggle, we take sides, we cheer for our favorites, but we don't lose sight of what's really important. The unique power of sports, especially when played on the global scale of the Olympics, to bring people together. And that spirit of international competition has compelled 204 countries to send Olympic teams to the current games. Some national teams consist of hundreds of athletes, others of only 2 or 3. But no matter how large the team or how powerful the country, the athletes compete on a level playing field, or at least that's the goal. And while national teams account for almost every athlete at the games, and the athletes competing for those teams get most of the attention, in accordance with the principles of equality and inclusion, there are also athletes at the Summer Games who officially represent no nation. They are the stateless athletes, the neutral competitors, the independent Olympians. The most prominent team to not be representing a nation-state at this year's Olympics is the ROC, which stands for Russian Olympic Committee. It consists of Russian athletes who have been allowed to compete, but not under the flag of Russia. And this is because a few years ago, the World Anti-Doping Agency, the organization tasked by the International Olympic Committee with monitoring the use of illegal drugs in sports, uncovered an extensive state-sponsored doping program in Russia. The IOC banned Russia from competing in the 2018 Winter Olympics, but Russian athletes who had never tested positive for doping were allowed to compete in the Games under the Olympic flag as Olympic Athletes from Russia, or OAR. Prior to the Summer Games, Russia appealed the ban to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which reduced the penalty somewhat. Russia is still banned from officially competing, but the Russian team can participate as the ROC. They're still competing under the Olympic flag, and the Russian national anthem won't be played when Russian athletes win gold medals, but at least the Russian Olympic Committee is represented, if not the nation of Russia itself. I think the OAR team in 2018 and the ROC team this year represent a fair compromise. The Russian doping program was an outrageous violation of the rules and of the principles that are supposed to undergird the entire enterprise of the Olympics, and thus demanded a severe penalty. But this way, that penalty is paid in the form of a loss of official representation and national pride, not a loss of opportunity for athletes who haven't been cheating. The ROC Olympians have done well this time around. Last week, the ROC gymnastics team won gold in both the men's and the women's team all-around. The first time that's happened since China did it in 2008. It's also the first gold in the women's team all-around for a team of Russian athletes since 1992. Good for them. Of course, there are reasons other than the IOC carrying out a punishment why an Olympic team might not be a national team. There's another independent team taking part in this year's Summer Games. The Refugee Team. The Refugee Team competed in the Olympics in 2016 at the Rio Games to give athletes displaced from their homelands an opportunity to compete and to raise awareness of the worldwide refugee crisis. The International Olympic Committee selected a team of 10 athletes, originally from South Sudan, Ethiopia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Syria, who competed in track and field, judo, and swimming events. The IOC is fielding another refugee team for these ongoing games in Tokyo. This time around, the team consists of 29 athletes from 10 different countries of origin, competing in 12 sports. Now, in 2016, the refugee team didn't win any medals, and as of this recording, they haven't won any in this year's games either, but that's not really the point. And after the negativity directed towards Simone Biles last week, I feel like some folks need to be reminded of that. Yes, it's a competition. Yes, there are winners and losers. Yes, the ultimate dream of an Olympic athlete is to win a gold medal. But the Olympics are about more than just who wins. Or at least they're supposed to be. The IOC's Olympic Charter lists the fundamental principles of Olympism. There are 7 principles, and I'm not going to read all of them, but I think the second one is the most relevant to our subject here. It reads, quote, "The goal of Olympism is to place sport at the service of the harmonious development of humankind, with a view to promoting a peaceful society concerned with the preservation of human dignity. Pick your favorites. Root for the athletes representing your nation or another nation, whatever you want. Cheer for the underdogs. Cheer for the competitors with the best stories. Cheer for whoever has earned your support. But don't forget that winning isn't everything, and winning isn't the only thing. Most Olympians aren't going to win medals. Most Olympic teams aren't going to win medals. They still represent the pinnacle of achievement in their chosen disciplines and demonstrate the potential of sports to bring people from different nations and cultures together in the spirit of equality and honorable competition. That's why the inclusion of stateless athletes in the Olympics is so important. Whether they are competing as neutral or independent because their home nation has been banned from the games, like the ROC athletes this year, or because they've been displaced from their home nations, like the refugee team, the Stateless Olympians remind us that the mission of the Olympic Games to unite the nations of the world isn't worth much unless it unites the people of those nations. The United Nations estimates there are over 82 million refugees in the world, people who have been displaced from their homes, in many cases from their home countries, by war, persecution, environmental disaster, or other factors. The Refugee Olympic team represents them, enables them to take their place among the nations of the world, and tells everyone watching that they exist, and they matter, and they deserve respect and compassion and the opportunity to have a good life no less than anyone else. Pride of country can be a good thing, but not when that pride is rooted in a belief in the inherent superiority of your country, or a desire to see your country dominate another. At its best, and it doesn't always do this, I know, but at its best, the Olympics teach us that while it's always nice to see our nation's Olympians standing atop the medal stand, the most beautiful sight is seeing Olympians representing all nations, and some representing no nation, standing side by side.